Our food doesn't grow in the supermarkets, magically appearing in the aisles or in the produce section. It takes work, a lot of work. Earlier, I spoke with Scott Kay, Business Director from BASF Canada, about the misconceptions that consumers have when it comes to farming. Scott, how were you able to open up the lines of communication between urban consumers and farmers, and why is it important to do that?
One of the ways that we can bridge that conversation between the consumer and the farmer is we create a video called Conversations on Sustainability. And what we did is, very simply, is we took 5 consumers who had great questions for the farmer, and we flew them out to Manitoba, to Saskatchewan, to Alberta, and right here in Ontario, and we asked them to spend a day and get their questions answered by the farmer. And the questions and answers were fascinating, and we put it all on videotape for other people to see.
So what did these consumers want to know when it comes to food and sustainability?
You know, they had some really great questions. Food safety. How do you farm today? It's surely not like it used to be. And then how do you make a living? So they had some really great questions, and the farmers provided some great answers.
And these farmers are producing food not just for us locally, but for all over the world, right? What does it take to feed the world?
If you think about it today, there's 7 billion people in the world to feed. We're going to grow by 2050 to 9 billion people to feed. And what the consumer found out is that they're up to the task, that the incorporation of new innovations and new technology are really going to be able to make sure the farmer can deliver.
And I bet technology plays a big part, right? So what sorts of technology are farmers using today?
Yeah, they use things like satellite imaging to make sure that they can be very precise, whether it's fertilizers or pesticides. They're very precise in what they do. They also use GPS to make sure that, one, for efficiency, but two, again, back to that precision agriculture. You know, one of the videos, the farmer says, hey, I've calculated across my farm by using auto steer, which is GPS technology, I've saved $8,000 on my farm.
And what are some other misconceptions that urban consumers have these days about farming?
Oh, I think there's some ideas where the farmer's just out spraying things willy-nilly, and they're obviously not. I've talked about the precision's really important, and they want to put things very exact, and they only want to spray what is needed and only apply fertilizer where needed. And that's really important because it's their bottom line that's being impacted. They also want to do it because they want to provide a safe, abundant food supply.
Let's get back to safety for a second. How do we as consumers know that what we're eating is safe?
Yeah, obviously the consumers that went out to see these farmers, that was one of those conversations in sustainability they wanted to have, is how safe is the food supply? And I think the farmer, he plays a dual role in that discussion. Because if you think about it, they're both consumer of the goods that they're planting on their farm, but they're also worried about sustainability. You'll hear throughout their conversations that the next generation is very important to them. So they're not in this to just try and do this for this year. They're trying to make sure that it's sustainable and they're providing us a safe crop for years to come. But we're also fortunate that we have a great Canadian health system here that does a lot of research into making sure that the products that do come to market, that the technology does get approved, is safe and is also doing specifically what the farmer needs it to do so that we can feed 9 billion people.
That's right, so that everyone in the world can have enough to eat. Thank you so much for bridging the gap between urban consumers and farmers. We learned a lot today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
If you want to go ahead and view BASF's online video series, check out their YouTube channel at youtube.com/BASF AG Solutions.